The year is 2040. I am 44 years old. My son is 26. Canada is America's 52nd state. Drake is in jail. LeBron is playing his 36th season in the NBA, and Pakistan's T20 openers are Mohammad Rizwan and Babar Azam. Welcome to Backward Point. My name is Nazar Sayed, and with me, as always, is my brother and co-host. Today's episode is reviewing the first T20I between Pakistan and South Africa in this South Africa tour that Pakistan is on. Lots to be said, lots to be unsaid, lots to be repeated. I'll give the floor to you, Bashar Sayed. You saw the first T20I. What did you think?
I think we want to do more podcasts, maybe like smaller episodes, but just document our feelings after every single match. So typically, we would have just waited till the end of the series and do a series review. But I think it's because Pakistan lost, and also just our general thoughts on this match were quite interesting. Nothing new though. I mean, like you said, the year is 2040, and probably Rizwan Babar are opening again. That I think is going to be the gist of this episode, talking about what Pakistan has been doing wrong in the past 3 years, why they haven't been learning from their mistakes, what the world is doing, where Pakistan is, and how Pakistan can start playing modern day T20 cricket.
No. I will not accept this tempered response from you because while we were watching the game, you were loud, you were aggressive, you were screaming, and frankly, me and Mikhail both were scared. So I will not be taking this diplomatic, tempered stance that you're doing in front of the camera and for the fans of Backward Point. I need your honest thoughts.
Man,
What were you feeling?
at the end of every episode, I talk to you and I'm like, I think we should be less of analysts and so self-proclaimed experts, and we should drift more towards the comedic part of podcasting. Because we don't have the experience or the expertise to be cricket analysts. We've never claimed to be. But I think every time Pakistan loses, I have no choice but to put on my expert and analyst beanie, get it, beanie, and come out here and do a statistical breakdown. And that's exactly what I plan to do. But to answer your question, the moment I saw Rizwan Babar walking out, my blood started to boil. I was infuriated. I think if you've been a fan of Backward Point, a listener for a while now, I would say the past year and a half, you know my hate relationship with Rizbar. Have never been a fan since day one. And even if Rizwan Babar opened the innings and Pakistan wins the next two T20 World Cups, I will still be on this podcast talking about how two anchors should not be opening for Pakistan or any team, for that say, in T20s.
Yeah, that has been our principal stance for the better part of 2 years. I mean, ever since Backward Point has become its own podcast, I think
I would disagree, actually. I just found a clip from last year where I'm talking about how Pakistan is still playing the 90s era of T20s and we should not be having two anchors in the top order. And you were like, no. What? This is working for Pakistan. Listen, don't look at England. Don't look at Australia. They have their own way. What's working for Pakistan is this formula. So let's stick with it.
I remember this podcast very vividly, and that was on the back of a 2022 World Cup where Pakistan had reached the finals and lost, and that was on the run of making multiple knockout rounds in the World Cup, T20 World Cup. There was from the back of Pakistan beating New Zealand at home 4-1. There were trails of yeah. Don't give me those eyes. Don't give me those eyes. I know there was a history of me saying, hey, it's working for Pakistan, let them cook. That was my point of view. But after the 2024 debacle of the T20 World Cup, and even way before that, every time this pair has gone out, they have sort of, it's diminishing returns. There was a point where Rizbar was needed for Pakistan cricket, when Fakhr was injured, when we didn't have an opening that was as explosive, and Rizwan Babar came and they chased 200 runs with 10 wickets in South Africa. They did it. They beat India by 10 wickets, 152 for 0. They chased another 10-wicket victory, I believe, in Pakistan. So they were giving you those runs at a higher strike rate, and they were giving you those wins. There is something that's happened, I don't know if it's a slump or if it's a form thing or if it's just you were saying like their nature of being anchors and their nature of being a more ODI centric batsman, that they're just bogging down the rate. The world has moved past anchorship in T20 cricket. Pakistan has regressed.
Absolutely. But the one thing that has been progressing and advancing and getting better with the day
Yashi
is
Sports Agenda.
Yashi Sports. That is the one agenda we have on this podcast.
Only
That
one.
and Karachi agenda.
Those are the two. And surprisingly and fortunately for us, both will be touched upon in this podcast.
Absolutely. So starting off with Canada's home of cricket, Yashi
Canada's home of
Sports,
cricket.
guys. If you want expert advice, if you want a tailored solution for your cricketing needs, the one place you need to go to is yashisports.com or even in person because they got the best cricket equipment. They've got the best in-house expert advice, tailored solution. And if that wasn't enough, you get an exclusive code BP10 for 10% off your next purchase.
That is 100% true. You go into the Yashi Sports complex, you tell them you want a bat, you give them our BP10 code, and they will give you 10% off. Save money. And I don't know if you're in Canada, obviously, the government is giving you a little break on taxes. Take that money, put it into some new cricket equipment. Say hi to Yashi Sports for us.
Absolutely. Let's do this.
Let's do this. We'll come to the Karachi agenda and Saim Ayub as well, but let's start from the top, man. The first innings, Pakistan won the toss and elected to field, I believe, and there was some good silver linings in right at the top.
Actually, South Africa won the toss, then they decided to bat first.
All right, I misspoke. I'm sorry.
We have one job.
Yeah, to research the open quick info. The people were like furiously typing as I said that, and then you corrected me. Thank you for saving me a shitload of comments. This guy doesn't even research. Whatever. Shaheen Speed is back. He took I think it was a wicket in the first over.
Yeah, inside edge.
Was that right? Research correct?
Inside edge, a wicket is a
Batsman
wicket.
introducing Golden Duck. And he was clocking in the low to mid 140s, Bashar. Something we haven't seen from Shaheen Shah Afridi in a very long time. Do you think this has something to do with him being dropped into the test series and him trying to make a statement, or is that just part of the game? It's small. It's a smaller game, shorter bursts. He can come in and give maybe 110%.
Look, I'm not even sure if Shaheen's been dropped or if Shaheen has been rested or if Shaheen has opted out of test matches.
It's unclear.
It's unclear. So it hasn't been revealed by Aqib Javed. But the one thing that Shaheen did today was he got to 100 wickets in T20s, became the third Pakistani bowler after Haris and Shadab Khan to reach that milestone, and he became the only bowler from Pakistan to get 100 wickets in all three formats.
That is a record that he'll hold. First bowler to do that.
But definitely, he looked fresh. He looked on target. All the Yorkers he bowled were spot on. His speeds were decent today.
Swinging it both ways.
Swinging it both ways.
Bringing it in, bringing it out.
Second spell, he came around the wicket and got some reverse swing as well. And I think the best part of this match was, I would say for the first half, the first 15 overs was Rizwan's captaincy. And the way he brought back Shaheen Afridi to get the crucial wicket of David Miller, which Shaheen did. Big wicket for Shaheen, 4 overs, 2 for 22. I thought that was a 2 or 3 wickets.
3 wickets.
3 wickets. Incredible spell. That's Shaheen that we expect. Wickets with the new ball, economical, and then getting key breakthroughs in his second spell as well.
Yeah. Some would say that bringing Shaheen back in that 13th over or 14th over, I should say, was also what caused Sufyan Wakim to bowl in that last over. And then he went for about 20 odd in that last over. It was insane run by George Linde there. But for part, boot for boot, brick for brick, I think Rizwan's captaincy was delightful. We haven't seen this proactive captaincy in a very long time, and every time Rizwan takes the field as a captain, that's something I have to say. I will talk about Rizwan the batter in a moment, but as a captain, as it stands, I like that it's a breath of fresh air when it comes to Pakistan's captaincy. We've sort of been inundated with the rote learning, whatever the coach has told me is what's going to happen on the ground thing. He does think out of the box. He thinks on his feet.
He's not reactionary.
He's not reactionary. There was a moment in the game where Abrar Ahmed went for 3 sixes. And there was one delivery left in that over. He came to Abrar Ahmed. He basically was zeroing in on him, just talking through that last. It was one delivery. If he went for another 6, I don't think it would have changed the dynamic of the game too much. But he was really dialed in. And I love that about this game. I think the first 15 overs were where Pakistan were dominating. Even though there was a wonderful innings by David Miller. And I wanted to talk about David Miller a little bit. We've seen him live. when he came to the GT20 in 2019.
18.
Was he not here in 19 as well?
I don't remember.
He was definitely there in 18. I remember because we were sitting at square. And he was hitting those sixes like at our feet, and those were big sixes. And we saw that live. And you were telling me then that this guy is a cheat code in T20 cricket, and that statement holds true even after 6 years. Because here he is, he hit 82 off of 40, man. 205 strike rate, 8 6s, 4 4s. He was hitting them all across the park, all around it.
And the park was small, by the way.
The park, I was just gonna say, the park was small. The square boundaries were small, but in contrast, how many sixes did Pakistan hit? 3, 4 sixes Pakistan hit, and this guy hit 8 alone. That's the difference, right? The square was the same for both of these sides.
1 6 that David Miller hit was off of his toe, the toe end of his bat.
Yep.
And it went into the crowd.
68
68 meters. So I think the boundary on the sides were like 65 meters, maybe.
But they were the same for both sides.
Correct. It's just about how you manipulate it, how you hit the balls in the gap where they're bowled to. It's also about bowling, right? I saw a lot of bowlers from South Africa ball wide stuff, change of pace deliveries, and not really give the Pakistani batsman anything to hit.
I think Pakistan bowled really well in that first spell.
What did you make of Abrar with the new ball?
I was just going to say, in that first spell, Pakistan was clinical. Abrar with the new ball was a very interesting move. I mean, you and I were having that sort of debate during the game as well, where we were like, if Abrar can bowl the new ball, then why not just bring in Saim to do the same thing, save on a spinner, put in an extra batsman? But that's, I guess, a combination thing. And maybe that's a conversation for another podcast on what the squad selection is or what the captaincy wants, what the captain wants from his teammates. But Abrar coming in, doing the job, taking the wickets in a timely manner, even though he went for runs, he didn't back down. He really has that, the one that goes like the wrong one, I believe. He has that dialed in. That stump was beautiful. I don't, by pretty stump. 1 second.
He got bowled a recent.
No. He Andil Similane or Simlane. He had him stumped in the last over. It was beautiful. Turned a mile. Rizwan's collection was really quick. Got it down to the tee. Good redemption for him because he went for runs the previous over as well. I just think Pakistan had it down, and I'm hesitant to say that Pakistan gave an extra 15 to 20 runs. I'm really hesitant to say that because 183 should have been chased.
I disagree. Firstly, I think at one point South Africa was 141 for 8 at the end of the 16th over. This is the point where you just wrap it up, right? You maybe like they make 20 runs more. So 160, 165 max should have been their total. But that last over from Sufyan Makim, which was, I think, a miscalculation on Rizwan's end. The reason why that happened is because Shaheen bowled the 14th over where he took David Miller's wicket. And then because Shaheen bowled that over, that was supposed to be Shaheen's over in the death. That was no that Sufyan Makim was supposed to bowl. But again, Shaheen gets the wicket, which is very important. I think Sufyan Makim should have gotten his over in before
Abrar?
After Shaheen or
right
after
Shaheen, Abrar bowled,
Yeah.
where he got that Simon wicket that
Yeah.
I'm talking about, and then he just went back to his Pacers.
Yeah, he should have gone to Sufyan Makim in the end. But I think what Rizwan was doing was trying to get them out so that the last over would not be needed. But I think if he's learned anything from Babar, we've seen Mohammad Nawaz, our boy, bowl the last over too many times. It hasn't worked out well for Pakistan. Even if you look back all the way to Imad Wasim bowling the last over against India in the Champions Trophy, Hardik Pandya just smashed him. I think towards the death overs, it's super risky to give an over to a spinner. We have a history of Saeed Ajmal being smashed by Matthew Hussey towards the death over. So I think Pakistan needs to learn something that we should not be giving overs to spinners in the last overs.
I mean, I kind of commend the bravery of Rizwan's captaincy there, and I hope he doesn't lose that spark because that format works wonders in ODIs, and we just won a 2-1 series against Australia with that format, bowling out your special bowlers before even the 40th over has commenced. So there is value in that strategy, and I hope that he is reminded of that. But in a moment like this where it's a limited overs match that is even further limited. Yeah, I mean, I'm there with you. There's nothing bad that I have to say about Sufyan Muqim. He's a good bowler. He just came back from 5 for 3 against Zimbabwe. So I'm not gonna come out here and just shit on the guy. But I think that it's one of those things that you gotta get out of your system. I think Sufyan Muqim is a better bowler than the over that he bowled in this T20I. And I do believe that he'll come back stronger. He is a good wrist spinner. Pakistan hasn't seen one in a long time, not since Shadab Khan. And speaking of shady, somewhere saying on the Twitter feed that he was kind of missed in the batting department and the spinning department. He kind of covers all fields. And if you put him in the side, maybe you don't need Mohammad Haris as a captain, but that's again a whole different podcast.
I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that. But what I am sure that Pakistan needs a sixth bowling option. Whether you get some overs out from Saim or whether you play Arafat bin Haas or you play Amir Jamal, Pakistan needs bowling depth and they need batting depth.
I still just wanted to finish on that point before that you were saying that Pakistan may have conceded 15 to 20 runs more, but it was still par, in my opinion. That's what I was trying to say. They very well could have bowled these guys out under 160, and that would have been just a winning total at that point. But 183 for 9 in this wicket with the squares this short should have been chased down. And with the start that Pakistan got, it seemed like they were going to do it. And that's where the frustration lies. That's where the frustration begins. I wasn't upset that 183 for 9 was the score on the board. I think I was actually quite relieved with the day that Haris Rove kind of had. Not his best day, not really telling of his performance and his gravitas on the field. He hit 4 for 41. He got hit for 4 for 41. That's not really usually what happens to him. He usually accompanies those runs with some wickets, but that wasn't the case. It happens. He had a bad day out. Sufyan Makim goes for runs. It's fine. You still restrict the total for 183 for 9. This should have been chased. And then you come out for the second innings, Bashar. You and I are sitting there, and lo and behold, you guys have heard the intro. Rizwan Babar walks out, and it's a game over from there.
Pakistan have learned nothing in the past 3 years. Pakistan have learned nothing from being knocked out of the first round of the T20 World Cup. And there is just indecisiveness. There is a lack of clarity of what brand of cricket Pakistan wants to play, who their openers need to be. I was just going through a list in my head, this is just out of memory, of the opening combinations that Pakistan has tried in the last 12 months, right? And I'm just going to go through it with you. If I miss something, let me know. We had Rizwan Babar opening. That was the beginning, the inception. And then we had a change when Shaheen became captain. So we had Saim and Rizwan opening. And then we had Saim and Babar opening. And then we went back to Rizwan and Babar opening. And then we had an option where I believe Sahibzada Farhan opened with Rizwan against Australia. And I did Hasibullah open, I think, in New Zealand, one match.
Yep.
Hasibullah also opened with Rizwan. And
a completely different face in the Zimbabwe series.
Yeah, Zimbabwe was different. Who was opening there?
I think it was Sahibzada with
Was
Saim.
it Abdullah Shafiq? No.
I don't remember.
It was Saim Ayub and somebody else.
Yeah, Saim Ayub with somebody else. I agree.
Right. So again, this is like at least 7 or 8 different
was in there
7 or 8 different batting pairs Pakistan has tried. And at the end of everything, all this chaos, what did they do? They go back to Rizwan.
Rizwan is on record saying this, by the way, that he thinks Rizwan is the key to all good things in Pakistan cricket.
The dumbest thing of this whole Rizwan thing is that Saim Ayub, a genuine opener, a genuine attacking batsman, a genuine impactful batsman, is going at number 3. Like, what genius in the Pakistan management was like, you know what? Saim Ayub should go one down. Like, I want to know what these conversations are happening and who is having these. Because a layman like me, a stupid cricket fan in Canada, knows that Saim Ayub, under no circumstances, should be going one down.
It's the man whose elbow I shook. That's who you should call.
I don't know what Aqib Bhai is smoking, but guys, let some common sense prevail. Let Saim Ayub open if he's in a playing 11 of a Pakistan team.
Can I tell you where Pakistan lost the game?
Where?
So Rizwan comes out, scores 16 off 15. Then our boy Karachi Agenda, let's go. Saim Ayub comes out, 31 off 15. He scores. Partnership is 40 off 24. Rizwan in that partnership scores 9 for 9. This is the point where Pakistan lose the game, right here. Till this point, Pakistan were in the game. In the power play, they were like 54 or something with the wicket down. Perfect. This is exactly the power play that Pakistan wanted. You go over 10 and over, and then the next 14 overs should be a breeze. The next partnership is with the guy who I think is not suited for Pakistan cricket, not suited for any green shirts that Pakistan have worn. I think Usman Khan is the person that should be taking all of them off. I'm not being harsh, I'm not trying to be cruel. This guy is misfit for this level of cricket. There's a reason why he never got selected during the natural process of the domestic circuit. Like, you can say a lot of things about Pakistan cricket. There is still a natural process as to one comes up into their higher grades. You can call it a flawed system. I definitely have my qualms with it, but it works. It works 7 out of 10 times. It works 6.5 out of 10 times, but it works. The system told us Usman Khan is not ready and not fit for this higher level of cricket. He went to the UAE. We were like, no. We're dragging you back.
Because we were having FOMO.
And we were having FOMO. We've missed out on Usman Khwaja. We missed out on
Imran
Tahir. We missed out
Sikandar
on
Raza.
Sikandar Raza. Like, we've missed out on so much talents that we were like, exactly like you said, we were feeling FOMO. Usman Khan, we don't want you to be in one of those. Come back. And lo and behold, the guy that we choose is kind of a bust. Like, we've given this guy a run of his lifetime. We've given it the same run that we've given Saim Ayub, and we've been 10x more critical to Saim than we have to Usman Khan. Anyways, Usman Khan comes in. 19 off 18 is the partnership between Usman Khan and Mohammad Rizwan. Mohammad Rizwan, 10 balls, 6 in that partnership. Usman Khan, 9 runs off 8 deliveries. Next up, Tayyip Tahir comes in. 34 runs off 31 deliveries. Tayyip Tahir run a ball 18. Mohammad Rizwan run a ball 13. That's it. That's the game. After that, Mohammad Rizwan is consolidating on his horrible track record that he's had in the past 15 deliveries. We had, I want to tell people this. I will not name names, but we had a very famous cricketer in our DMs saying that no cricketer should be playing 63 deliveries in a T20I.
Criminal.
It's criminal.
Rizwan was 15 off 19 in the power play, which is absolutely criminal. And then at one point, he was 36 off 44 balls at the end of the 15th over. Pakistan at this point were 111 for 4. And for some insane reason, Shaheen Afridi went above Irfan Khan at number 6. But that's not all. Rizwan covered his innings towards the end. So if you haven't watched the match, it looks like Rizwan was playing a good hand like on one side.
It still doesn't look like he's playing a good hand.
That's far
Even after the
truth.
coverage, Bashar, he still does not look like he's playing a good hand because he has 74 off 62.
The impact of Rizwan's innings is not just on himself or the team, but it's on the other batsman who's on the other end. On average, it takes 5 to 7 deliveries for any new batsman to come in and get his eye set. Doesn't matter if you're Viv Richards, Virat Kohli, Andre Russell, Chris Gayle, it takes you a few deliveries to get set. What's happening here is that players like Irfan Khan, Shaheen Afridi are coming in and they're going after it after the second, third ball. They don't have their eye in. On the other hand, Rizwan, who is a set batsman who's played 50 plus deliveries, is on the other end taking singles and doubles or playing dot balls. So that is the multiple impact, the domino effect that Rizwan's negative batting has on the team and the other guys. And what happens in the end is you're like, Irfan Khan is not fair at this level. Shaheen Afridi is not a good batsman. Tayyip Tahir is not good enough. No, that's not true. That's far from the truth. We have wasted far too many middle order batsmen by squeezing them down the order. The list starts from Asif Ali, Khushdil Shah, Haider Ali, Danish Aziz, Iftikhar Ahmed, and now Irfan Niazi. Irfan Niazi, who you are playing as a middle order batsman, is going in at number 7. That is brainless in my opinion.
For every 152 for 0 we get, right? And trust me, that 152 for 0 is still living vividly in our memories. Everybody who's a Pakistan cricket fan knows that how much that means to all of us. Honestly, there are days when I feel down. I will put on 152 for 0 and I watch that whole game. It's just beautiful. It's synergy. It's cinema. It's art.
I don't.
I will defend 152 for 0 for a very long time. It's just the way it makes me feel. It's fine. I mean, like, you're on record. You can say that whatever you want, but you're on record live, crying in front of like 10,000 people on YouTube when Pakistan won that game. So you cannot come out here and be revisionist history. All I'm saying is that for every 152 for 0 we get a Pakistan versus Australia semifinal where Rizwan scores 67 off 52. Which
is, by the way, Rizwan's favorite innings, if you ask him.
We get a Pakistan versus India where Rizwan had a tailor-made game and he threw away the game.
Asia Cup final against South Africa. Sri Lanka.
We get an Asia Cup final against, correct, where he comes out, underscores, overplays the deliveries, loses the game. We get a game like the South Africa versus Pakistan first T20I, where it was game, set, match, and he lost because he's played 62 deliveries and only scored 74 runs. So how many times is our Pakistan cricket fans and Pakistanis in general going to retry the same formula? Einstein said it the best. If you do the same thing over and over again, it is insanity.
Wasn't that Abraham Lincoln?
Whoever said it, somebody said that. I said it. I just said it right now. Whoever said that, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, it is insanity. And this is what Pakistan team is doing. This is what's driving the fandom in a frenzy, is that we've been here before. We've been here like 11 different times this year. We've been here for the past 24 months. Can we move on? This is the call for Saim and Mohammad Haris to open the T20I has never been louder. The call for Fakhar Zaman to get back in this team has never been louder. Fans are fed up, man. The T20I, what Sarfaraz left, the legacy that Sarfaraz left when he was kicked out of the team unceremoniously like 4 years ago, this is what's become of it. We've regressed. Pakistan cricket was sort of progressive in the mid 2000s when T20I were introduced. They had openers like Imran Nazir, and they had Afridi going first down, and at number 3,
Abdul Razak being a pitch hitter.
Sharjeel Khan, Abdul Razak, Kamran Akmal opening the stands. Like, we were forward thinking. We were messing with the playing order. Kamran Akmal has never been an opener, but he's always been a middle order. We pushed him to the opening stance, and he won us the World Cup, right? And he would have won us the second one too, surprisingly, if that Australia innings hadn't happened. But Shahid Afridi is a middle order batsman. You pushed him at number 3. He won us the semi-final and the final in 2009. We've been forward thinking. We've been progressive. This lot in T20Is has just forgotten how to play the game, and it's unfair to the fans. It's shameful, and honestly, I regret even watching this game, because as soon as Rizwan Babar came, I should have turned off the TV and done something better with my life, because this was obviously the result that was going to happen.
The way Pakistan is playing T20Is now is how Pakistan used to play ODIs in the 90s. Like, let's conserve our wickets, and towards the end, guys, we're going to accelerate or we're going to win the match. That does not happen. Now, in this next phase of the podcast episode, I would like to make a case for why Rizwan and Babar should not be batting in the power play in T20Is. Now, I think the way that I look at T20Is is you can break a batting innings down into 3 phases. Number 1 is the power play, overs 1 to 6. This is the phase where only 2 fielders are outside. And then you have the middle overs 7 to 15. This is when the field is spread. Spinners are bowling. You need guys who can play good spin. And then you have the death overs 16 to 20. Now, let's start off with the first phase of the match, probably some would say the most important phase, overs 1 to 6, the batting power play. Now, let us look at the record of Rizwan and Babar batting in the power play. And the key figure here, which we will use as impact, is the strike rate. A strike rate is how you understand how quick a batsman scores runs.
Strike rate is greater than average.
Rizwan's strike rate in the power play overall in T20Is is 116.76.
That can't be true.
This is facts. It's from Cricinfo. I spent hours getting these stats. Somebody fact check me in the comments. Rizwan's strike rate in the power play of T20 World Cups is 98.17. So Rizwan is scoring at below run a ball in the power play, the most important phase of the match in T20 World Cups.
My arms just automatically went to the meme. Look at this.
Rizwan's dot ball percentage in power play overall T20Is is 45.6. So nearly half the deliveries he faces in the power play are dot balls. Let's look at Babar Azam. Babar Azam's strike rate in the power play overall T20Is is 118.14. Just a tad bit better than Rizwan. Babar Azam's dot ball percentage overall T20Is in the power play is 43.3%, a little better than Rizwan. Babar Azam's strike rate in the power play of T20 World Cups is 87.43. This is a bad strike rate for ODIs, let alone power plays of T20 World Cups.
I'm glad you're doing this, because me and a lot of fans like me who are Babar Azam fans need to hear this.
Rizwan and Babar's average power play strike rate, so their combined power play strike rate when they're batting together, is 117.48. This means their average power play score in 6 overs is 42.3. So on average, if Rizwan and Babar go out to bat, you can expect Pakistan to be 42 in 6 overs.
That's not par.
That is way below par. Now, am I going crazy by sharing these stats? Let's look at what the world is doing. And for argument's sake, let's look at the top 3 white ball teams in T20Is. I've picked out England, Australia, and
India.
India.
And you also have New Zealand, Ben Allen in there.
Right. So England's opener, Phil Salt, 36 average, 165 strike rate. Joss Butler, 35 average, 147 strike rate. Australia, most recently, Matthew Short was their opener, 22 average, 163 strike rate. Travis Head, 33 average, 160 strike rate. Let's look at India. India has a new face of their T20I team, but let's look at their players. Sanju Samson, 28 average, 155 strike rate. Abhishek Sharma, 23 average, 171 strike rate. And New Zealand also has Finn Allen, who has a 24 average, 158 strike rate. Now, these are all stats to back up my very basic common sense argument that Pakistan needs attacking, explosive, impactful players in the power play, regardless if they score a 15 ball 30, that is far better than Mohammad Rizwan's 65 ball 72.
Totally agree. I have nothing
like,
else
am I going crazy here? Am I saying something like some alien language, rocket science? Like, how hard is this to understand?
The problem is that you're speaking the facts, and that's crazy. Like, these numbers don't justify any of these players opening for Pakistan. And then you have the numbers right opposite of it. You pose the question in the notes, and I will post the notes on Patreon, so you guys can check the Patreon links below if you want access to this. But in the notes, you have a simple question: does Pakistan have players who can play at a high strike rate? You've picked out 3 names, Bashar. Saim, 27 average and 151 strike rate in the Pakistan Super League, 43 average and 142 strike rate in the CPL. Pretty good, I would say. Fakhar Zaman, 30 average, 140 strike rate in the PSL, and 28 average and 135 strike rate overall T20s. A bit on the lower end, but we've grown to know that Fakhar Zaman has been a match winner and can, pull games from anywhere. So you let him cook. He's clutch. That's fine with me. Mohammad Haris. The Mohammad Haris. The reason this podcast even exists. The guy, the highest rated, most watched podcast of Backward Points history. You can check it out. It's facts as well. Mohammad Haris, 26 average, 171 strike rate in PSL overall.
171 strike rate. Take that in.
Let me repeat. 26 average, 171 strike rate at the PSL, and 23 average and 145 strike rate in overall T20s. And asterisk, debuted in the 2022 World Cup, smashed Rabada, smashed the Bangladeshi team, and went to the finals. Clutch.
I did this quick info search. I'm like, tell me who has the highest batting strike rate in the PSL, minimum 300 runs. Number 1 on that list is Mohammad Haris. This is not a list that was made by me. This is not because Mohammad Haris was on my podcast, so now I have to sit and defend him. And then the second player on that same list was Saim. Mohammad Haris and Saim are the only 2 batters in the list of highest strike rates in the PSL for top order batsmen who are Pakistani. Everybody else, Luke Ronke, I think Chris Lynn was in there, Tom Kohler had more non-Pakistani players. So the answer to my question is, does Pakistan have players who can play at a high strike rate? Yes, we do. We need to give them a chance. We need to give them a long run. What India has been doing recently is they're taking these genuine attacking batters, these 6 hitters, Abhishek Sharma, Sanju Samson, Tilak Verma, and they're telling them that you are playing for India regardless of your performances. We are backing you. They are removing the fear of failure, any chance of insecurities from their mind, and now they're going out there and playing their game. Pakistan has to do the same thing with Saim Ayub and Mohammad Haris and Fakhar Zaman. Insert name here of attacking batsman. Go out there, play your game. You make a 0, you make a 50. You will be in the team till the next T20 World Cup, or the next 3 series at least.
I love that. Just don't apply that to Usman Khan. That's my only call.
Usman Khan's defense, actually.
I don't want to hear any defense for Usman Khan.
His PSL record, 53 average, 160 strike rate.
His PSL record, to me, is a scam because none of that has been translated over to
300s, 350s.
I don't want to hear it. The gist of everything, and we should move on from this. I guess we're going to wrap up right after this. If I had to bottle everything down to one sentence, the day Pakistan cricket respects a 31 ball the day, I should rephrase this. The day Pakistan cricket respects a 15 ball 31, the cameo that Saim Ayub had just played, that's the day Pakistan cricket will prevail. Simple as that. The day I was seeing discourse online that was saying that was like, oh, Saim has scored 31 runs, but if Rizwan hadn't scored 75, we'd be all out for 80. I would have taken an 80 all out over this abysmal performance.
We also need to get these uncles out of the PCB. I was hearing when we touched on the commentary box. It was the second worst thing after Rizwan's innings because he was all he was doing was hyping up Rizwan. It's like, oh my god, Rizwan had a great innings. If only somebody else gave some support to him, or he covered it up in the end very well. Saim you playing rash shots, and but this is not the way to play. Like, bro, you don't know. Like the way that Saim you was playing, that is how you play a T20 innings. What Rizwan was doing was 90s ODI cricket. It reminded me of almost a Misbah ul Haq classic ODI innings where Misbah just took his way to 50
and then consolidates at the end. Oh my God. It reminded me really of that semifinals against India where Pakistan, when we needed Misbah to attack, he was just like giving the strike over. And then in the last 3 overs, he was hitting like 18 runs. I was like, what are you doing? We don't need this right now. It's like salt in our wounds. If you could do this before, we might have been in a position where we could have won. And same thing with Rizwan here. If he just consolidated before, like there was a point where Rizwan was 14 off 18 deliveries in the power play, and Saim Ayub was 31 off 15. And I'm just looking at, like, I tweeted, I was like, I hope Rizwan from the other end is witnessing how T20I opening is done in real time in the year 2024, because what him and Babar are doing, that is not it.
I think the solution to this is that one of Rizwan, Babar have to go. I think it has to be Rizwan. Babar, I can still give some leeway that he can improve his game, or he has shown that he has improved his batting stats this year. He's hitting a lot more sixes. So there is that eagerness to improve and learn. Ideally, both anchors got to go, but if you have to keep one of them, has to be Babar. Rizwan's got to go. Give the captaincy to somebody else, Shaheen or somebody other who's someone else who's young. Saim has to open with Fakhr or Haris. Actually, one more thing. I did a poll.
Babar in the past two years, in 2023 and 24, his strike rate has gone up. So his strike rate in 23 was 146, and his strike rate in 2024 has been 132.3. So it's gone up. I will defend that.
I asked a question to the Instagram followers, and I asked them, give me your top 3 for Pakistan's T20I team. And I'm just going to read through some responses. Haris, Saim, Fakhr. Saim, Babar, Rizwan. Rizwan, Haris, Fakhr. Saim, Babar, Usman. Rizwan, Saim, Babar. Saim Ayub, Fakhr Zaman, Babar Azam. Saim, Babar, Mohammad Haris. Saim Ayub, Fakhr Zaman, Babar Azam. Saim Ayub, Babar Azam, Fakhr Zaman. Saim Ayub, Mohammad Haris, Hasibullah. And the last one I'll say is Saim Ayub, Mohammad Haris, Babar Azam. This is a list that goes on.
There was one that said Saim Ayub, and Saim Ayub.
Karachi agenda is strong.
That's the guy I like. You're the real one.
And I noticed a trend that, and a lot of these top 3 that people have, that you guys have given me, Rizwan is not in there. It's Saim, Haris, Babar, Saim, Fakhr, Babar, or some of the combination.
So let's finish on this. Let's finish on a high, Bashar. Why do you think the PCB, the management, Aqib Ball, Mohammad Haris, Babar Azam, insert figure of authority in PCB here, Mohsin Naqvi, Inzamam Ulaq, Shehbaz Sharif, insert person here. Why do you think this lot is purposely sidelining and ignoring Mohammad Haris?
This is a harsh fact, but this is my assessment. I don't think Rizwan is secure with having another top order batsman who is also a wicketkeeper in the Pakistan team. Because if Haris can come in and play at 20 ball 40, that will just make Rizwan look stupid and be like, what the hell were you doing all this time? And Haris can come in and play a knock better than you, faster than you, has a high strike rate than you. I think it's an insecurity thing.
So if that were, let's say if that case is true, then shouldn't that push Rizwan to evolve his game? Otherwise, and in a scenario like this, where he keeps playing innings like these and losing games for Pakistan in crunch moments and, dead rubber kind of nonsense series games like this, the fans, the management, the call is out to push Rizwan out of here and maybe bring Shadab as captain and do this and that and the other. Isn't this against his own interests of keeping himself in the team and playing innings like these?
Who was the last Pakistani cricketer who went out on a high, who hung the boots on a positive note. I think the way Pakistan cricketers are, they're waiting to be pushed out, and they will wait till the last string is broken until somebody kicks them out. So that's just the reality of the situation.
I was listening to a Hassan Minaj podcast today, and he was talking about how players are the last people to know when to quit. Like people around them know like years before they're like, this is probably the time where they should end it, and then take another couple of years. He was giving examples of the NBA of so many players who have just overstayed their welcome. I'm not saying we're at that time with Rizwan yet, but in T20 eyes, the world has moved on. Even inner circles within Pakistan, the younger lot is here. These older heads either have to change their game or make way. Simple as that. Now, does that mean I am making an announcement? I'm calling for the end of Rizwan. Am I calling for the end of Babar Azam? I'm still hesitant to say 100% yes, but they have not given me any evidence of them improving their games. And with that, I'm looking at Fakhr, I'm looking at Haris, I'm looking at Saim, I'm even looking at someone like Azam Khan, and I'm looking at what the PCB has done to these guys. And the fact that Saim has played in innings like this today, and the fact that he was the man of the series like last series, and the fact that he sort of was one of the man of the matches in one of the Australia games, just proves to me the fact that he is doing this not in spite of the system, not because of it. He is breaking the mold. There was so much pressure on him. There was people out to get him. There were agendas against him already, forcing him to not open against India in that 2024 World Cup game. Having abysmal performances from Azim Khan, that run that he's had. Like he's not that kind of player in the franchise circuit. Then why is he that player in under the PCB wing? So many questions left unanswered, but all we know for a fact is that when the going gets tough, the tough gets Rizbar.
Yeah, I think I know the fans. I am a fan myself. And if Pakistan plays Saim and Haris and Fakhr, some of the combination with these guys, and Pakistan loses, at least I can sit here and say, I get what you're doing. I see what's happening. There is an effort to change the brand of cricket Pakistan plays. But if they keep losing this way with this 11, with this anchor mindset, it's just frustrating. And it boils my blood.
Yeah, I want to move on. Just talk quickly about some really fun fast bowling that we saw, Bashar. Uh, South Africa has a new bowler, I believe. How old is this kid, man? He was bowling 150 rockets. That was insane to me. His name is
Mafaka.
Quena Mafaka.
He's
And
18 years old.
18 years old. I believe he clocked in at 151. He got the coveted, or for some, coveted wicket of Babar Azam in his first spell. And he was just bowling rockets, man. He was making Haris Rofe look like a spinner, honestly. Uh, Very, very interesting talent that South Africa has been able to pull out. With the 2026 World Cup in sight, less than 2 years from now, some would say almost a year and a half, 18 months, if you're like me, jotting down the days, this guy's gonna wreak havoc. And not only in the 2026 World Cup, the IPL is calling, the PSL is
He's
calling.
played for Mumbai Indians already.
There we go. I say 20. Like this guy's world is all opened up for him. And what did you make of it as a fast bowler yourself? What were your assessments? The one thing you told me was this guy's so prone to injury. Like I hope to take good care of him. And yeah, man, like he's genuinely, it was fun to watch him bowl.
Yeah, he's young, he's raw, he's quick, he's a left armer who can bring the ball back in. Always lethal. We've seen that with China Afridi. Yeah, the reason why I said he might be prone to back injuries is because there's this thing called lateral flexion in his bowling when he releases the ball. Google it. It's hard to explain on audio, but basically, that puts stress on your lower back. And if you keep bowling with that action, it could lead to stress fractures. So I hope he fixes that. There's some realignment to his bowling action. It's better to like lose 5Ks but still get that longevity. But lethal talent.
Yeah, definitely. I was when there was a side on angle of his bowling action, and all I could think of was like Cliffy Deacon is just like twisting in his bed and being like, "Man, send this guy to me. I will fix this action."
Cliffy actually back in his home country.
Yeah, good for Cliffy, man. Cliffy, if you're listening, shout outs to you.
Cliffy is the Pakistan team physio, by the way.
Yeah. We were gonna do 30 minutes on this. We've done 46. I think we went on a little bit of a rant there. Much needed. I got a lot of steam off. Bashar, what about you? Do you feel better?
I feel better. Definitely, ranting is better.
There was a lot of pent up anger before that. You were being snappy. I don't know if you were just hangry or you're just pissed off at the game, but now you feel a lot less snappy to me.
I felt like Andy in the episode of Office where they prank him, and in the end he punches a wall. I wanted to punch a wall when Rizwan Babar walked out.
And then what did you want to do after Rizwan got out?
I'm bald, but I was still trying to like rip my tiny hair out. I was like, oh.
Well, guys, that's enough for us. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys liked our episode, don't forget to like, subscribe. Subscribe is a big thing, guys. Don't forget to do that on your way out.
Leave a review on Spotify.
Yeah,
Apple
we're almost 100 reviews, Bashar. We're at 99 right now. 4.7 stars, 99 reviews. Go out there, leave a review for us. If you're listening to us on the audio format, we can take comments now on Spotify, so definitely do that. We're reading those as well. Check out the Patreon. Check out Twitter, Instagram, Discord. All the good stuff is in the description below. This is Nazar signing out. Honestly, I'm done with this. Pakistan could very well come out and win this series 2-1, but at this point, at what cost, right? Bashar, finishing thoughts and sign us out.
I'm good, man. I'm good. See you guys later next episode. Good luck to Pakistan, and we'll catch you guys soon.
Cool. Cheers.